Hello, welcome into this mystery reading. I'm Molly, the QuantumLeapQueen. Thanks for joining me on this reading. These readings are a timeless resource for you to come utilize whenever you need some extra nourishment in your life. So trust that if you found this reading today, there is a message here for you. I'm starting your reading with the Rainbow Tarot. I'm setting the intention to give you the best messages that you need to hear today. So let's take a look. What are we talking about with my friend today? I have the Six of Swords. Could be right now you're in a little bit of an unknown place. That's kind of like the signature Six of Swords. Feeling like in between two spots, kind of in the unknown. Left something behind, getting to the shore of something new, but not exactly knowing where that is or what's happening. Having to really, really trust in the unknown. I have the Fool, yeah. You did take a leap of faith. There was something that took courage for you. Something you had to have a lot of courage around to take this leap of faith into a new beginning, even when you don't know what it looks like or what's occurring or what's happening. A lot of unknowns right now, but still trusting that you're being guided and being led into something that fits with you more now, that fits your soul, aligns with your soul at a deeper level than where you were previously. We have Judgment, the Wheel of Fortune, the High Priestess, okay? These are all major arcanas. Judgment, the Wheel of Fortune, and the High Priestess. Oof, this is really telling me I just get this like moment in time, this instant where it was like a flip of a switch. It was like you were invested in this certain way of doing things, and then boom, something happened, and it was like instantly it severed the connection to whatever was in the past, and it opened up this new path for you to move away from what it was in the past. Yeah, and this was such a big thing. Like, again, I get it as like a moment in time. It wasn't like, sure, there was like a lot of things maybe leading up to it, but it was literally like the straw that broke the camel's back in this situation, in this scenario. Instant. It was like instantly, okay, understood, and then moving in a different direction. That's how I get it, you know. I think on the outside maybe things weren't they didn't necessarily need to be that clean cut, but I just see like in your energy was really where the cut happened, because obviously in the external world sometimes things are maybe a little bit messy, they're not as clean as we would have liked, but I just see energetically Judgment Day did come. You did get a change in direction, and also slash a glow up from whatever you are leaving in the past. And then the High Priestess is like, this is the internal knowing that, okay, we're done here, and then you move on, because you no longer have that attachment. Whatever it was, truly severed that attachment in an instant. That's what I get. What else? What else can I tell my friend? I have the Six of Pentacles. What was that? Six of Pentacles, the Devil, the Five of Swords, and the Queen of Wands. Yeah, I do feel like whatever this was from the past, it was a bit of a trauma bond. There was codependency, and this could be with a person, this could be with like your relationship just to something, to a job or to a substance or something. And I just see that this tie that you had to this past thing was it really showcased a lot of you're giving and justifying and showing up. I'm even hearing like overgiving. The Five of Swords, it was something that put up a fight a lot. Wasn't coming from necessarily honesty or integrity. Whatever this was, like, wanted to, I get it as like win or dominate or be influential over you. Whatever this was, it kind of had a power over you in a sense, because of course we give it that power when we're addicted. Like the devil is the addiction to the past, the codependency. So whatever it was, it had some power over you, and the energy of it got off on being the dominant one. And then you as well, this is more of the past version of you now, but you used to give in order to hope to receive some breadcrumbs back, in order to receive like the abandonment of yourself was really at the core of what was fueling this relationship and the codependency. But I just see that isn't the case any longer, because the Queen of Wands came out with this pile, and I see it as like, okay, you learned a lot about yourself going through this situation, and you're much more comfortable in your own magic now, and realizing like, okay, I don't need to get this validation from anyone else. If it requires me to abandon myself, it is not for me. That is the Queen of Wands. She is like totally in her own world and reliant on her own energy, does not need something outside of her to fulfill her. So I just see there's a lot of lessons being learned in this past situation. Okay. Final message for my friend from the tarot before we move on to some oracle messages. I have the Ace of Pentacles. Okay. Beautiful. Because the reading started off with the Six of Swords, this really unknown, not quite sure, the new reality hasn't quite manifested, but it's like pure potential right now. And I'm hearing something about monitor your vibration, monitor your thoughts and feelings, monitor how you speak to yourself internally, because what you're doing right now is it's not a passive time. This is like a creative time, but creative from the inside out, from, energetically being creative. Because the Pentacles, they're the manifestation of things. They're the earth energy. They're what we see materially. And you're actually creating the material from the energetics, from the spiritual. So that's the core of what's being produced on the outside. And I'm just hearing this message just to watch, just to monitor, just to see like how much of your energy is going towards the things you actually want to be creating in your life, and how much of your energy is not. Simple as that. Just to watch. That's the message. Is just to be aware, watch, observe, and then from there make pivots if necessary. Okay, I'm going to start with oracle messages. I want to start with the Moonology deck. Get some moon messages. Best message from the moon for my friend. Best message from the moon. My friend, what wants to be said? Oh, okay. Personal issue reaches resolution. Full moon in Cancer. That's exactly where you are. It's like that personal issue, which was this trauma bonded thing from the past. It reaches a revolution, which is you taking your power back, stepping away. Cancer also is like the home energy as well. It's the mother energy, so you could feel at this time you're coming back home to yourself. Yeah. I feel like I don't need to expand on this too much, because it's pretty obvious. As well, I will say it could be that emotions are heightened for you right now because, yes, Cancer is a water sign. It's actually ruled by the moon, and it's full. It's a full moon, so it's full on expression of emotions. So you could be feeling very emotional at this time, and just to sit with it, just to be in it, and not to need to change anything, just witnessing it. And it feels like a chapter, like it's not going to last forever, but where you are right now, just acknowledge everything you have going on. And I would even say, like, to use tools. You can use tools to help move these emotions along. For example, journaling, crying if you need, screaming in the car, underwater, into a pillow. Lots of things to just help you release the energy without judgment and in healthy ways, right? Like, you're not hurting anyone else in this process, and you're giving yourself the space to express. Yeah, it really, like, it can be hard to get yourself to do these things sometimes because obviously it's not the most comfortable thing. But I tell you what, it always pays off. It's like getting a layer of trauma off you. Like, every time you do it. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, I could go on, but I think I'm going to leave it at that. So let's pull next from the Mystic Mondays Astro deck. What are we looking at astrologically for my friend? Oh, okay. We have Leo, we have Libra, we have the 6th house, which is Virgo, which is funny because the 6th house is actually in between Leo and Libra. Virgo's in between them, so we have consecutive energies right now. That's really interesting. I feel like this is probably talking about the progression of, it makes me think of like Leo, Leo the lion, or like the courage it took you to then leave whatever the past trauma was. The 6th house of coming back home to yourself. The 6th house is like health, the body, the nitty-gritty details, like coming back to focus on you, I think is really important. Also, the 6th house, that's the last house of self before we get into the 7th house, which is Libra, which is about then the other person. The houses 1 through 6, the signs 1 through 6, they're about us and our internal worlds. Just about us and us. Once we get into 7 through 12, then we're talking about our relationship to other people and to life. So that's interesting in itself. And then Libra, I feel like this is like, Libra's the scales and diplomatic harmony, balance. So it's about the karma coming back to balance as you have kind of completed a karmic cycle of choosing yourself again, and on such a deep level, breaking past karmic ties and coming back home to balance now within yourself, which obviously takes time to readjust and to find yourself again after abandoning oneself for a while. So I just feel like this is talking about the progression and is confirmation for what you've been through and continue to step into with your energy. Okay, let's do the animal deck next. Let's do this one. I always have the decks listed below in the description, just so you know. Oh, one is ready for you. Quantum jump. That's exactly what you're doing. And look at, we have the balance, the yin and yang. Ooh, nice. 36. The scorpion fly. It says let go, berry. Scorpion fly is the first on the scene when there is a corpse, When scorpion fly appears in your reading, it is a sign that there is something outmoded that no longer serves you. When we hold on to something that has died, we cannot return the energy it once had. Instead, it takes on a different kind of life. Maggots begin to lay eggs, the bacteria take over the decomposing process, and the new life has a rancid smell. What thing or belief are you holding on to that no longer fulfills your purpose? What do you need to let go of and finally bury in the dirt? When we give a proper burial and goodbye to what no longer serves us, it allows the natural process of decomposition to happen. It is through this letting go that something unexpected and beautiful can germinate. In burying what does not serve you, you create space for something more profound to grow. You become stronger by weeding through what is no longer contributing to your growth. Scorpion flies medicine shares that a new development is waiting to blossom, but you must first sacrifice and bury the unneeded that is taking up space. Trash the old and outdated, which is what you've been doing. I think that's just confirmation to see you exactly where you are. You have been majorly trashing the old and the outdated and making space for something new. Even we have to make the space first and then it comes in, and there's kind of this moment of time where it's like uncomfortable, obviously transitioning from one place to the next. And but I think it's just a testimony to say to acknowledge the work that you've done, and then also the work you continue to do, because you may have cut the cords, but obviously sometimes those cords are layered and the healing continues for quite a long time. But it's not even just about whatever the trauma bond was with on the outside. This is about you and your belief systems and how you see yourself, and like maybe you used to identify as a person that was more self-abandoning, more people-pleasing, more overgiving, or the opposite, where it's, you just take that as it is. But now it's like you're coming back to this place of balance, of like really seeing yourself and who you are and who you aren't. So there's so much work being done here, and you're literally like making the space for something new to be birthed. But the decomposition process is not something that can be rushed. It takes time to decompose, to deconstruct, and then from there, new soil is built. And something new can form from that. So that's like the perfect card, I feel like, from this deck for you. Okay, lastly, I'm gonna pull from the I Create My Reality deck. And let's take a look. Best message for my friend from this deck for this reading. Okay. Flow like water. And I just have to say, I love that Six of Swords, our first card out again. Again, you're flowing in the water. In this kind of unknown space. Wherever intention goes, energy flows. Set your intention and trust the process wholly, completely. Know that the process is unfolding as it should. Be in the present to experience it. When you love your life, every minute of it, and accept situations as they are, you start to flow like water down a river. The more we flow, the more energy is created. Yeah. And I think I touched on that too. That was a message that came through, that it's so important to just see, like, look at, like, observe, right? Like, observe yourself, observe the thought patterns, observe how you speak to yourself, those things. So important for you right now. Because everything is kind of like birthing anew. You are in that in-between process, and not to rush this process at all. It's not about getting to the other side. It's about being completely and wholly right where you are, and knowing that you have everything you need right now, and as well that the power is in your hands, and you get to witness and then decide, like, do I want to keep feeding this belief? Or do I want to change it to something else? Stuff like that. All that internal work you're doing. And the water is the internal emotional flow. So nurturing yourself in this time by not distracting yourself from all the outside stuff, but taking the time to really like nurture your inner world, discover your inner world, explore your inner world, and then knowing you have the capacity to change things around, which you've already been doing. So it's just confirmation for where you are. So that's it for your reading. I hope this brought you nourishment and confirmation on your journey. Take your time. There is no rush. You literally cannot rush the healing process. So I just want to say, don't get distracted. Don't get distracted. Pay attention to yourself and stay in your own lane, and that's how you become the most healed for yourself and for other people. Okay, so that's it. Come on back whenever you need another reading. My whole channel is dedicated to timeless mystery readings. So until then, we'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.